Blog Talk Radio.
Following ingredients include a look behind the scenes. Cook uncovered until hot. Add grooves to taste.
I would like, if I may, to take you on a strange journey.
Once upon a time, there was a little girl.
The accident was over a year ago. A second woman has been elected president. The 12th planet has been named in the solar system. The last wild polar bear has died. I slept through it all. I was here for my waking. He called it a beginning. He said it was good. I think he may have thought that anything I did was good.
Welcome to Transition Radio, live from Hollywood, Florida, with your host and hostess, Mark Angelo and Jessica Lynn Cummings. Show for trans folks, by trans folks, here to let your voice be heard. Well, good evening, everyone, and thank you for tuning in yet another night. And we're so very grateful to have you all. And tonight we have a very interesting show with a very interesting guest by the name of Beadle. But first, we want to thank our sponsor, thebreastformstore.com. They have everything you could possibly need for your transgender or cross-dressing needs. Visit their website and tell them Transition Radio sent you. We are giving away a pair of gold seal breast forms, compliments of thebreastformstore.com. Send us an essay or short video, not to exceed 4 minutes, telling us why you should be the winner of these girls. And that email is transitionradioshow@gmail.com. Again, transitionradioshow@gmail.com. Well, we received an email from one of our transgender brothers, pleading for help as he felt he was a victim of bullying from another trans man. Here at Transition Radio, we are all about letting your voices be heard, and that includes all of our trans brothers and sisters. So we decided to have him on the show to tell his story. However, we did give the opportunity of the other person to be on the show, so it wouldn't be one-sided, but that individual declined and will not be on the show. Beadle is a transgender male born female in a small northeastern town in Pennsylvania. But as of the age of 5, he knew there was something different about him. He didn't feel like a little girl and was constantly jealous of his brother. He asked his mother one day, why did she make me a girl and him a boy? He blamed and resented her. He prayed every night to God to change him into a boy by the time he woke up the next morning. But, of course, that was never to be. Needless to say, he suffered with this his whole life. Now, at the age of 46, he finally took actions to correct what was wrong on the outside to harmonize with who he is on the inside. He has been on testosterone for a year and a half now with amazing results and has never been happier in his life. He quotes, I have met some amazing transgender brothers and sisters who have supported me through this process. I hope to one day finalize my transition by having top surgery because with that, I will feel complete. In my heart and soul, all transgender people who have experienced the same journey are my family, and I hold true love for all of you. And I hope for all transgender people, the journey is a positive and rewarding experience without harassment and prejudice, but just love. Welcome to our show, Mr. Shane Beadle. And let's see, we have him on. Shane, are you on? Hello? Shane? Shane? Hello? Okay, so we're having technical difficulties here. I've been keeping back and forth with him on Facebook. Let's see if Shane, if you hear us, call back in, buddy, because I think the line we have on. Are you there? Shane. Yeah. Shane.
Hello. Okay, well, we're going to get him to call back in.
It's Blog Talk Radio thing sometimes. Just
Decides to.
Shane, can you hear us? Well, while Shane, let me try to see 1 second here if I can try to do a little something with magic. And where are you? Well, while we wait for Shane to try to call back in, maybe you have somebody on the chat line that Shane.
Sure your phone's connected. Sure we're connected.
Yeah, we're connected. Everything's connected, but you need try calling back in, Shane. I see. Well, yes, it's ringing, but ringing is not.
You gotta press 1.
It gives you options. Yeah.
We're live.
We're live.
It's going to change.
Yeah.
Through modern technology.
Yeah. Shane, the number to call in is 646-716-6895. I see him on the switchboard, but somehow, some way, this is. Let's see if I can hang up on.
Disconnect it, and then we'll try right for that.
Yeah.
So, while we wait, I guess we could talk about the birds and the bees.
I think they've all heard enough about the birds and the bees.
Okay.
Nobody really wants to hear about the birds and the bees. Well, I think in the meantime, while Shane calls in, I'm going to go ahead and play the actual video that was made towards Shane. It's a little clip about it, so let's see here. Let me play this.
I have a personal motto, and I live by it. People can agree or agree to disagree with me, but just because I am a trans man and you might be a trans man doesn't make us brothers. Brotherhood to me is who I choose to be a part of my brotherhood. There was a trans man that I had blocked from my YouTube, or maybe it was my public figure page on Facebook, something, but I do remember blocking him. And I don't go around block happy and blocking people for no valid reason. He inboxed me to another page. Somehow he got a hold of me and was just real nasty. So I tried to communicate with him, smooth things out, and I pretty much thought that everything was under control. If you are a hater that is subscribed to my channel, I'm sure you loved this video. To everyone else, as always, take care. God bless. Hit me up on Facebook. Be sure to...
Okay, that was the actual video, or actually not the whole video, because it was a whole 9-minute video, so I had to kind of edit it a bit. And Shane is continuing to have problems calling. He keeps, let me see something here. Shane. Anyway, this is Shane. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and play a song until we try to resolve this thing with Shane. We'll be right back.
Look in the mirror and search for the truth.
are you on?
Yes, I am. After a few minutes of glitches on this phone, I am here. Sorry about that.
All righty then. Well, we played a little piece of Beck's speech, or hate speech, or whatever it was, that video he put out there. And then I started playing some of my music, hoping, I don't know what happened or what the whole ordeal was, but okay.
It was the 1 before the 646. I shouldn't have dialed the 1, but we got it now.
Okay.
That's all that matters.
Yes.
I'm like, everybody else calls. Why did you?
I know.
I'm calling
I
out.
was panicking.
So I guess it's a good thing there's only 4 questions instead of 6.
Exactly. Anyway, we gave a little intro, and we played the little edited version of Beck. And but before we start the whole thing, I want to just have Jessica ask you a question.
Yes. I'm going to start with the first question. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Shane.
Well, I was born and raised in northeastern Pennsylvania. I now live in Las Vegas, Nevada. I knew from the age of 5 that there was something different about me, like nobody else, you know, that I felt like I was in the wrong body, and I always questioned my mom, blame my mom about why I had this girl's body, and, you know, hoping to wake up the next day being a boy, and of course that never happened. So I waited until the age of 46 to finally take that step and transition into somebody who I needed to be on the outside as I felt on the inside, because I was not happy. I mean, I was not a lesbian. I wasn't any of those things, and nothing made me happy, and it just relentlessly tortured me almost daily, day by day by day, to do something about it. And finally, for the last year and a half, I've been on testosterone, and finally my life is together. I'm very, very happy, and hopefully, you know, I'll be able to have top surgery and conclude the transition. So, but that's who I am.
That's good to hear. And then I know that many trans guys live their lives waiting to have that surgery, and I think it's very important to realize you got to be happy with who you are, and if everything permits that, if you do get those surgeries and you do get the things, then it's like icing on the cake. But I think one of the greatest things to realize that we're not a mistake. We are the way we are, and it's extremely important.
Well, we got a guest in our chat room that says claps and cheers for Shane.
Yeah, we got the chat room going. We've had it for like on since 6:10, and people are listening in and the chat. Now, let's get to the nitty-gritty of this show. Share with the listeners the encounter you had with this trans man who you feel has bullied you.
Yes. You know, this is a shocking thing to me, because we all expect this type of behavior from the general public, from outside the community, you know, of always fearing of being found out and what will happen. And if you do look at history and look at the type of things that happen, such as Brandon Tina, who I use as a perfect example, because the person who is bullying me actually made a memorial for Brandon Tina, and then turned around and did the same exact actions to me that the two guys did to Brandon Tina before they so tragically murdered him. And so, I'm not saying that that's the case here, but what I need to do is get my voice out there to our community that the trans woman in McDonald's who was so severely beaten by the general public, by what happened to Brandon Tina by the general public, those type of actions are now beginning to become a problem inside our community. I don't know too much about, male to female, but I do know the forums on Facebook that are specifically for FTM to FTM. You see a lot of infighting and a lot of bullying and a lot of aggressive and arrogant behavior by people who think that your popularity is based on how many YouTube videos you have and how long you've been on testosterone and things like this. So when people come on there, young guys that are pre-T or 1 month on T, and they try to voice an opinion on one of these forums, all of a sudden they get, harassed and, you don't have an opinion, you don't know anything, you've only been on there a month, and, and that's exactly what happened to me. I voiced an opinion against this person on a forum where the administrator had warned him about advertising his company too much on his page. It was overkill. It was, every 5 minutes he was advertising his company, and the page was made for FTMs to discuss issues with other FTMs. And so I agreed with the administrator that he was advertising too much on the page, and that's when the harassment and the threats started. And they started in private messages. They started in YouTube videos. The one in particular called Haters 2 was specifically made for me as a threat to me as a walking target. His words, quote, unquote, I am a walking target. So I don't know about anybody else, but I take that as a physical threat. And like I said, when you have this type of infighting inside the community, FTM to FTM, we have enough to worry about what's going to happen to us on the outside. Now we have to worry about this on the inside. And this is a very tragic issue that needs to be stopped immediately. And I am only one person. I am only one voice. But if I have other people to back me up, other voices to support me on this, to stop these predators from these actions, we can get somewhere and stop this from happening to other innocent people to become victims from these predators. They act like innocent angels on the outside, that they're supporting the community and providing products for the community, and on the other hand, so boldly making YouTube videos about hatred and hate, and they're just so consumed with hate. They have photos of themselves with this is to all the haters in text on their pictures. I mean, is this what we want going on inside our community? I don't think so. We need someone to protect ourselves. Like I said, we have enough to worry about on the outside. What happens when these verbal threats turn into physical threats, Because, the other threat was your words are kerosene and karma is the match. So there was the other threat. And he continues to threaten me to this day. He makes a silly Christmas video, and in that video, there was another dig at me again. So, it's just nonstop.
I saw that video, and I must say, it wasn't very funny. But besides that point, I mean, we're talking about somebody that's supposed to be an acclaimed public figure, an acclaimed professional business individual. And all the years that I've done business, I've never, ever, ever seen any company or anybody that when a consumer or a customer brings a concern to the table, that company goes and starts bashing the other person or starts the whole issue is to be resolved. Make the customer happy. And one happy customer is going to bring in 10,000 happy customers. One unhappy customer is going to bring in 20,000 just to say something negative to the owner of the company, per se.
You know, and we did try to grade him on the show, and he's a very confrontative type of individual. And what I have observed is that he is full of ego. Everything about him says ego. And that's not one of the things that we want to put out there in the community because, you know, we don't want young brothers starting this whole thing and thinking they have to be this persona, this egotistical. It's bad enough that testosterone creates a lot of anger and a lot of issues in a person. So you got to come from a place of love, not from a place of ego or fear-based, because that's all he does is he constantly threatens people when he doesn't get his way.
Right. Exactly. And if someone voices an opinion other than his, then he strikes out like a snake. I mean, he struck out at you, threatening you that if we mentioned his name and exposed what he is doing and who he is, you know, you receive threats from him. So it's not only me.
Believe me, I did, and I dealt with him, and he thinks, this individual, seems to think that, or should I say back, he seems to think that he has this powerful, ego that, I will come after you, da-da-da-da-da. Well, I don't get intimidated, and neither does Mark.
No, and I've had my run-in with him in the past, and he blocked me as well, and then he turns around and joins the group that we're in, and he starts advertising every 5 minutes. There's no contribution to the group. It's just advertising Beck and how wonderful Beck is, and Beck is going to be a model for the underwear, this and that and the other, so Beck. And, it's if you're going to be a public figure, it can't be about Beck. It has to be about the community.
Exactly. And I don't even know how he believes that he has the ability to be a public figure when he really isn't anybody. I mean, like I said, he bases his popularity on how many YouTube videos you have, and that was also in the Haters 2 video to me. Basically, he said to me, who do you think you are? You probably have, 1 or 2 YouTube videos? I have hundreds. So his ego is so large that he bases his popularity on how many YouTube videos he makes and how many cartoon characters he plays. And, that doesn't make you popular at all.
And now he models.
And I even...
And I mean, what's
so funny? I thought he'd be bigger.
Yeah, I know, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, we were talking. I was talking to my wife about that, and I said, God, I hope they show it from the neck down because. Well, even then, I mean, he's all 97 pounds soaking wet. And then in the video, he flexes, and there's nothing there but skin and bones. It's like. For somebody that's small, intimidating other people, you sure are pretty brave.
Well, but, it's because internet intimidation is you're not face to face with that person.
Well,
Napoleon, yeah,
that's basically
exactly.
So
I
think we've given him enough of his 50 minutes of fame.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're gonna get back to you unless you want to say something else regarding the situation.
Because we do have about 5 minutes left.
Yeah, and we have a few more questions.
Okay.
So, as a trans man, what has been the obstacles you have faced?
The main obstacles I have faced, number one, first and foremost, is my family accepting who I am. They just, even though, they assured me when I told them the first time that I was transitioning, they assured me that they would be there for me and love me regardless. And unfortunately, it turned out completely the opposite, and I lost just about every member of my family after I transitioned. So, I mean, that has been the biggest obstacle. And the second thing is trying to attain the top surgery, because there is hardly any insurance that covers that type of procedure. So you have to go in there with a massive amount of cash, which hardly any of us can attain. So, you know, that's another obstacle to me. And to many trans men, you can't finish your transition until you finish that part of it, you know. And that's when you feel whole. You feel whole as a man. But without that, you're just never there. You're never completely there. So those are the two biggest obstacles I have faced so far.
And they're very important obstacles. So one thing I do have to say, though, family eventually do come around sooner or later, because I have the same problem. And as far as having the mastectomy, I mean, I was fortunate enough that I sold my house and I was able to take some of that money to have my surgery done. But you know, don't give up hope, and just remember, just one day at a time, and it doesn't make you any less of a man if you don't have that surgery, because man doesn't stem from their genitals, it stems from the heart.
That's
and
true.
You're all man together. You're all man together. Yeah. So that's one important thing. It's all in the heart, and it's how you feel. Genitals never make a man or a woman.
I mean, honestly, I feel like a more powerful woman with what I have between my legs.
Yes, you certainly are. And a very beautiful one at that, I might say. Mark is a lucky man.
And I am definitely a lucky woman. That's such a great guy.
So what would you like to change about the community, Sean? Shane. Sean.
Well,
Sean is just about me. See? That's what happens when you're talking. That was my whole first name. Yeah. Shane. So what is
that the blonde hair?
Yeah, right?
Yeah, he's got the blonde hair tonight. I should have a picture of that one.
Well, what I'd like to change, of course, is the very issue that we've been speaking about, and that is to support our brothers, to support each other in this brotherhood, because regardless of how long you're on testosterone or how many YouTube videos you have, we're all the same. We're all in the same journey together. And we need to support each other together and stop this infighting and stop these predators from going after innocent victims just for voicing an opinion. Everyone in this country has the right to voice an opinion. If you don't like it, you know, then you don't like it. But you don't go and physically, verbally, emotionally, and mentally threaten anyone for any reason. And that's the one thing that I want to change. I want to make forums on Facebook where it truly supports each other, all trans people, not this infighting. You go to a forum and everybody's infighting and threatening. So we need to have support.
We all don't have to agree. I mean, it's important to agree to disagree, but respect one another. You know, and it doesn't matter how many years you've been on TV. We're going to be off the air live in 18 seconds, but the show will continue to tape, so this on the recording, on the demand portion, so we'll keep going for a little bit longer. But as I was saying, you know, we don't all have to agree. We have to respect where we are in our transition and support one another. That's the key. Not bullying one another, not because you think you've got this whole FTM mall thing going on and all these, you know, you are a model for underworks and now you think you're the last thing on this earth. You know, it can't be that way because we have to unite. We may not all like each other, but we should learn to respect and tolerate. And yes, we are all family. We are, every single one of us are brothers and sisters because we all have that same suffering. We all were born with the same problem. So
absolutely,
I beg to differ with what he said on that video, that he chooses who he feels are his brothers. Then, you know, he's being hypocritical.
Right, exactly. He advertises for his company as everyone being his brothers. And then, like you said, in another video, he contradicts himself and says, you have to meet this certain criteria to be my brother. You can't just be my brother. Whatever that criteria is, I don't know, but that is extremely hypocritical. So, I mean, people out there, especially all these people that are buying things from his company and, you know, believing that he's a nice guy, these people need to see who they're really dealing with. And it's not a nice person. It's not. And if you go into any kind of conflict with him in any kind of way, you'll feel the wrath of his what he did to me, you know, his threats. And like I said, it needs to be stopped. And like the two of you, I am not easily intimidated. I would not go on this show and voice my opinion if I was easily intimidated. So I'm here to stop what he's doing and to give everyone that he's done this to before and anyone who he may do it to in the future, I'm giving them a voice. I'm supporting them. I'm standing up. I'm one person to stand up and support them, but I know I have other people backing me like you and Jessica. So we're all in this together, like you said, and we're going to stop these actions from happening and start supporting our trans community.
And that's what needs to be done. And no one should be afraid of any individual because they think they're top-notch and they have all this power. And, you know, it's a matter of just being there for one another, supporting one another. That's why Transition Radio became, because we wanted people, it was born. We wanted people to have a voice, and we wanted people to share their stories, so the world could see what we were all about. But we can't have voices in our own community. That's just not right.
Exactly. And, I mean, you know, even with the NPS, I mean, it's common with the NPS as well, because you get these hyper-effeminate girls that they're better than everybody else. They have these egos and attitudes. Maybe they have overcome more things than other girls, but I've seen it also common in the NPS side of things as well.
Wow.
So we all go through the same. We all go through the same journey. Maybe not exactly the same way, but you know, we all go through the same pains, the same ailments, and the same issues that we've had in the past that we've had to deal with and overcome. And you know, we've all got there, and we'll all get there in due time. You know, some people are going to be newer in their infancy stages, and some people are going to be in their later elder stages. And you know, you got to accept everybody as who they are.
But if we don't, you know, connect with one another, if we don't love one another, then how do we expect the rest of the world to do so?
Exactly. Right. I totally agree with you there.
It's been a pleasure to have you on the show, and it's a shame we had that technical difficulties. So you didn't dial a 1, or you dialed a 1, and that's why you couldn't get through, or?
When you told me to dial the 1, that's when I hit the glitch. I had a call without the 1. And when I called including the 1, it just kept ringing and ringing and ringing, and I was panicking, and I was telling my wife, give me your phone, I have to call, it's a different phone, I don't know what's going on. But I'm glad that I finally got through and at least got something out there to say, you know, because I did not want this to go by without my opinion being out there, my voice being out there, and this being heard. You know, so I'm glad that you two were there to back me up, and thank you so much for having Transition Radio to allow people like me to get our voice out there. So thank you.
The pleasure was ours. Thank you so much, Shane, for being a brother, for being a friend, and for being a good member of the community. And that's what we all have to do, is be good to one another so we can help each other through all these challenges that we face.
Exactly.
Absolutely, and you're welcome.
All right, thanks everyone for tuning in. Sorry for the initial glitches, but you know, modern technology is not as modern sometimes as we think it is. And now I'm going to end the show with a song that I was playing, which is called "Changes Are Coming." It's just one of my original acoustics. So take care. We'll see you guys on Thursday, which we're going to have Tim and Chris, and they are a couple. One's an MTF and the other one is GT, which is a genetically born girl, and they have a very interesting story. You guys don't want to miss it.
Yeah.
So see you on Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, same place, same station.
Tuesday.
Today is Thursday. It's Tuesday. I'm so confused.
Today's Thursday,
so it's Tuesday.
Tuesday show.
Yeah, that's because the holiday just kind of messed everything up. Anyway, thank you guys again. We love you.
Good night.
And remember to
Always love yourself, too.
Good night.
Good night.
Look in the mirror and search for the truth. Changes are coming that will affect you. You can no longer hide. You must face the truth in time. The voices that you hear is your conscience loud and clear. You can no longer hide. You must face the truth this time. The voices that you hear is your conscience loud and clear. Feeling the hunger, the cold and loneliness spell, stirring beneath you. It almost feels like hell. You can no longer hide. You must face the truth this time. The voices that you hear is your conscience loud and clear. You can no longer hide. You must face the truth this time. The voices that you hear is your conscience loud and clear. Yeah. Seems like it lately that nothing feels right. The look on people's faces, they're worried all the time. Can no longer hide. You must face the truth this time. The voices that you hear is your conscience loud and clear. You can no longer hide. You must face the truth this time. The voices that you hear is your conscience loud and clear. Yeah. Out in the meadow, the birds are flying high.